Thanks, everyone. My name is Jeff Wheelwright. I'm the Director of Marketing Communications at Atheer. We produce enterprise AR software, and we're delighted to be able to bring you this panel today. We've got some exceptional people who can give us some really exciting stories about work with AR in the enterprise. And I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves first, and we'll start with you, Parm.
Sure. Parm Sandhu. I'm with Telus. I'm the Director of Network Operations. I manage a large team of field technicians responsible for maintaining a core network that delivers our communication services, TV, internet, broadband services to consumers and businesses. Maybe a little bit about Telus.
Yeah.
So Telus is a global company, and we provide core business that we offer is core communication services, including smart home and home automation services. We're also a leading health IT provider and really in Canada. And the goal of that business is to drive improved health outcomes in the Canadian health ecosystem. And globally, we provide through Telus International business transformation, customer experience services for global clients all over the world. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Parm. Moe, would you like to tell us a bit about Atheer?
Yeah, sure. My name is Moe Somani. I'm the VP of Enterprise Solutions for Atheer. We're based out of Santa Clara, Monica. I am located in Vancouver, Canada, so I have the privilege of living in a beautiful city and having to get the opportunity to go back and forth as well to the head office once in a while. So basically what my role in Atheer, we're in a augmented reality remote assistance platform that we have that provides the opportunity for enterprise solutions and organizations such as Telus and Julabo to help their workforce, their service organization improve. You'll hear a little bit more about that, but primarily my role is to help organizations try to put AR on their map, being such a new and innovative way to do business today.
Thank you, Moe. And finally, we have Dirk, and Dirk is going to introduce his company, Julabo USA, and also tell us, well, you can cue up the clip.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, my name is Dirk. I'm heading here the North American operation of Julabo. Julabo is a German company doing temperature control, highly precise temperature control between plus 400 degrees Celsius and minus 100. Originally, it started out in the chemical and pharmaceutical world. Today, it's used everywhere in each and every industry. So NASA is a reference customer of ours because they simulate with our units moon surface conditions, but so does right now everybody else in the space and aviation space. Or the electric car companies use our products to simulate aging of the batteries. So all the names that you ever heard of are our customers in this space. And the last and not greatest, but most interesting for me because it's so different. I'm a biochemist, I'm a scientist, so very different to all the other customers is the cannabis world because the people who extract cannabis need temperature control as well. And this is a very different customer base, very exciting, and their augmented reality is even more important. With Julabo, I had sales, marketing, and service, and we started out with service.
So all of those examples are a part of an evolving industry, an industry that's maturing. And as we have gone out and talked to enterprise customers about how they're using augmented reality, we've seen a lot of patterns emerging. And those have helped us develop what we're calling a maturity model. Now, it's not about how much gray hair you have, and believe me, having been in this industry for a few years, this is a good place to be able to acquire gray hair prematurely. However, what this is really about is having a vision for where you want to get to. I know that Amy this morning talked about the importance of having a vision, and Charlie reiterated that, and I would underscore that as well. It's important to know where you want to get to, and then look at how you're going to get there. So we developed this model with 4 stages. So there's a stage that's all about exploring, and there is a number of activities, strategies, technologies, content, budgets, and IT involvement that you need to look at that stage and at each subsequent stage. what we're seeing right now is a lot of the, customers are kind of in that stage 1, stage 2. They're either exploring, they've got some ideas around use cases, and they're trying things out, and they might come from, there's a need in a particular department or an idea somebody wants to try, and they're going to pilot it, and maybe they've got some discretionary budget, or maybe they're going to club together with a couple of departments and put something together, and they've got a hypothesis, and they want to get out there and they want to test it. And that's kind of what happens in exploring. And so, you know, where all of those pieces are, a lot of it's pretty ad hoc. People are kind of pulling the pieces together, they're learning. Then we kind of get into the next stage where people have actually decided, yeah, there's really something here. I've got a use case that I can really solidly go after, and then they're going to work on deploying that and really move it into production. The next stage, which I think is kind of where we're going to see a lot more happening in the next year or two, is connecting AR to the ecosystem, where you say, okay, well, this platform is good, but it's going to be even better if I can connect it to my CRM system, or my ERP system, or LMS, or my warehouse management system. So all of the data that you need to inform what somebody is doing at any moment in time is available to them within their field of view, within their augmented reality management platform. And then there's a number of other pieces that need to go with that. In order for that to happen, you've got to have your IT department on board. There's a lot of integration that'll have to happen. There needs to be a dedicated budget. There needs to be senior management buy-in, et cetera. And then finally, you get to the stage where AR is really a competitive advantage. It's what helps you stay ahead of the competition and allows you to continue to innovate and evolve, having used all of those first few stages to provide a foundation. So I just wanted to offer this as a way of providing, if you like, a framework for this discussion. And we'll provide a link at the end of this for anybody who's interested in this maturity model. You can download it. We also have a white paper that goes along with it.
Can anybody read the fine print on there? No, neither could I. I couldn't read it on the screen. I just want to know. Okay. No, you'll get the opportunity to download it for sure. Yeah.
Correct. And so what we wanted to do now was we're kind of talking about in that explore stage where you're kind of figuring it all out. One of the things that you need to do is to kind of figure out your use cases. So the panel is going to talk about use cases and what they've learned about finding your use case or your use cases. And maybe, Parm, you want to kick that off?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll kick it off. We've been involved I've been working with Moe and Jeff for
It's been
about
so
2
hard
years.
to work with this guy, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. And I think from a use case perspective, we're probably still kind of in the exploring and deploying range right now, I would say, in this model. And it's a very well, I think when I first started the conversation and we were thinking about connecting, and we said, let's not worry about connecting, let's worry about user adoption and some of the challenges associated with that. We started with just understanding the technology, understanding the hardware, will it work in our environment. We have technicians who are in completely uncontrolled environment. They could be in somebody's home, they could be in a network site. So there's a lot of challenges associated with understanding the technology, and user expectation is another key. They're used to very high-end devices now on smartphones, very high-resolution cameras. If you look at what you get on, AR glasses, they're not, same level of quality yet. So when you give somebody an AR glasses and somebody's looking at the video feed on the other end, they're not quite the same level yet. So again, you got version 10 or 11 of phones and where you are with this technology. So I think from our point of view, we looked at training as really a prominent area, and areas where I think you've got long lead time, long length of training, lots of content, and retention becomes a big challenge. So using AR to make that training experience exciting, new, immersive has been one valuable area for us in looking at how we can use AR. Maybe some of the insights I would offer, make sure you have your proficiency measurement of before and after AR. I think it's really important to understand what you're going to measure, what you're going to want to, is there value at the end for the business case? As you know, the hardware can be expensive. definitely have a really good, solid change management plan in place. And really, from what I mean from is people change, because you're going to change how they're doing things. You're going to try and understand, it's a big change to them. And some people may be in that, some of the team members might be in that job for 20 years and 25 years. And, you can give them all the technologies, but they're still going to write things on sticky notes, as you could probably see, right? And then I would say the other aspect I would look at is privacy and privacy of if you're in somebody's home and you're trying to use augmented reality or AR. It's a very different environment when you're in an environment such as a warehouse or a facility or a controlled facility. How are you going to maintain that and privacy and security of that individual? Whether you're in a pharmacist talking to a patient, or you're in somebody's home installing a smart home security system, you are in their environment, and hence, there's a lot of security and privacy concerns to work through. I'll stop there. I think that was kind of our key areas.
Perfect.
In terms of insights.
Thank you, Parm. Dirk, tell us about how you went about finding your use
Yes.
case.
Okay. Yeah. So I said that Julabo is a German-based company out of the southwest of Germany, so in the vicinity of Porsche and Mercedes-Benz. So I got invited by Porsche to an event where they showed at Porsche North America how they utilize augmented reality for their service cases. And I was intrigued by that and inspired, and thought this is similar to our issues, so they could cut back their resolution times for service cases by 40%. We are seeing the same, if not even better. That, of course, improves the customer experience, reduces cost, and this is how we initially started out to really repair units in a quicker time frame. In the meantime, we have seen, like you've seen in the video, that was not a repair, that was an installation. So usually for an installation, we would send out a service tech, he would install it, he would give you a 1-hour training, and then you are done with this. In this case, as I said, this was a very difficult customer situation that we were in. We did it differently, and we said, what about if we do that remotely, this installation, because then your service techs, first of all, get first-hand information how to install, and the training happens on the way, more or less, so 2 in 1. And the customer was excited about that we are leading in this industry, and this customer also has a global AR initiative for their own products. So here really the stars aligned very well. So, and as I said, from a very grumpy customer, this turned into a reference which gave us last night, very late last night, approval to show this video, by the way, because with these large global corporations it's sometimes a little bit difficult. But we see also other use cases down the road, because training in general, but even sales would be possible with this technology. Also reducing the environmental footprint, of course, because currently we are flying around a lot. Is that really necessary? No. And with this current discussion going on a global stage, I think this is also aligning very well the goals of AR and what we see politically going on.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And the one other thing, I think you were going to talk for a moment about the branding, because you have a special branding element that I think you implemented to assist with adoption.
Yes, we call this whole package that we carved up with Atheer together, Luca Vision. Why Luca Vision? We have a mascot that is a frog, because the frog has various body temperatures. As we are varying temperatures, it makes sense. So we have this frog for quite a long time. But we thought for this AR, Luca Vision makes sense because a frog has a 360-degree vision. That makes it important. And I don't know whether you ever thought about that a frog always leaps forward, never backwards. That's exactly what we want to do. We also only want to go forward in business, and with the help of this increased vision, this is possible. Our growth is stellar anyhow, but it will further increase with the help of Luca Vision. And we also branded it Luca Vision because you much more easily then get buy-in. And you just mentioned change management. That's important for all our employees. It's more for our employees than for the customers of importance. So this service right now is personalized, and that has a huge impact on how this technology is adopted within our own staff.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dirk. And Mo, I'll turn to you.
Okay, great. So I'm actually lucky today because I've got 2 of my own customers here. I got a chance to start working with both of these guys. And one, you have to, if you use Instagram, look up Julabo. These guys are the most fun people I've ever seen. You guys have the posts that I see with their staff and everything. And would tell us, everybody here, I look at one of the things around use cases is that you end up working with a lot of multiple people within the organization to try to get them to do the buy-in and to make sure that everybody, because it's quite new to everybody. But one thing I definitely want to see, and you can see it on the screen right here, is what we've noticed at Atheer is that AR is shifting and it's impacting every single person in the organization. So, in a large organization infrastructure, it impacts the employees that are working there, the supply chain, such as the vendors and the contractors that you might have in the organization, and at the end is the customer that also gets impacted as well. And our goal at Atheer is to be able to impact all three groups of people within the organization, so they're all collaborating and working together to improve their experience in all those areas. So.
Yeah, and Mo, I think you had some use cases you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so I think trying to explain AR and what it does for you, we're looking at ways, Parm made a really good point, is to have metrics and measurements of things. Where do you want to get to and what's the objective, what's the ROI that you're looking for? And so we try to do that with every single customer before we get into any type of project, is really try to understand what is it they're trying to achieve and how are they going to measure that achievement. That's a really important piece for us. Dirk mentioned Porsche, so Porsche is one of our clients. They have 200 dealerships roughly across North America. All of them are using, and you guys mentioned LucaVision. Porsche's branded it called Tech Live Look. If you look it up on Google, you'll kind of read a lot about it and see some of the videos. But they actually achieved a 40% reduction in mean time between repairs and resolution times. So getting your car back to them as a customer, getting it back faster made such a big difference for them in terms of a customer experience, but also so they can go and fix the next car quicker, right? So to get the other car back into the bay as quickly as they could. And using AR, simple how they do it is a technician at Porsche dealership, if he's having a problem, he puts on a pair of glasses, and he's now connected to a guy in Atlanta who's a remote expert, and he can actually help him fix that problem easily. With regards to IATA. IATA is about 290 airline members worldwide, globally. And one of the key things for them is that they wanted to improve the cargo handling area with them and speed of cargo handling within the warehouses. So, and increase more product going into the warehouses. So Atheer is helping them. They saw a 90% reduction in errors, which is really big, and a 30% reduction in improvement of the speed of handling that cargo. So what they do is they go back and they look at quality management and training for the airline industry, and they take this data and they bring it back to the airlines to let them know how it could work. Volkswagen Group, here they have 5 different brands. Here we're talking about Volkswagen and Audi here specifically, but they've got a new fleet of electrical car vehicles that are coming out, and they're wanting to have, what was the number, how many cars in 10 years?
They want to get 22 million
22
electric
million,
cars
yeah.
on the road within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And this is Volkswagen Group UK and their dealer network.
Yeah, so 22 million cars in the next 10 years. And what they're looking at Atheer to do is help improve the service operations for their technical technicians and their tech support group to be able to service those cars so that the customer at the end of the day is satisfied. So they're right now they've got about 40 or 50 dealerships right now in the Volkswagen that are specifically on electrical cars, which is a brand new, so we call it innovation for them because it's very innovative, something new that's coming out. Electric cars are going to be very big in the automotive industry. And how can we help them improve servicing those vehicles for the customer at the end of the day? And then Anglo American, they are a mining company. They're known for, they're the largest mining company in the world. They're known for diamonds. They own 85% of De Beers. And they're on the learning side in terms of use case for learning. So what they do is they've got 69,000 employees worldwide, and they want to change the way their work life is to improve it much better, and they're using it on a learning aspect. So what they have is they've got this learning management system called Xylene. Anybody heard of Xylene before? Just curious. Anyway, so it's a learning management system. They've invested millions of dollars in this thing. So why would they want to get another platform system to be able to do the work they need to get done for the people that are out in the field when they've already got a learning management system that's already got all that content in there. So our project initially started off with integrating their learning management system with Atheer's platform so they can actually send out the information out to the field to be able to do the work better. So little different types of use cases here, but bottom line is that there are certain metrics and certain objectives. What we find that the platform has done for our customers on our enterprise, help them reduce cost of travel, so having to send somebody out somewhere, improve first-time fix rates, so they reduce the errors that are out there, improve training effectiveness. If you have new people that are being in a job and are new hires, how do you get them up and running really quickly? Or at the same time, you might have technicians that are out there in the field, such as you might have, that have been there for 20, 25, 30 years, but the products are changing. And when the products are changing and becoming more innovative, how do you help those people that have been there for a long time, again, increase the speed of their learning to be able to start servicing those type of products as well. So we're not in the sexy part of the business at all, the VR side that you see in a lot of stuff. We're all really much about the meat and bone side of it, and been fortunate enough to work with a lot of great enterprise customers to do that.
Thank you, Mo. Our last kind of discussion point here is looking at the unique challenges and opportunities in your specific industries. I was going to start with you, Parm, because I think you sit in an interesting place. Telus is a provider and supports a massive telecommunications infrastructure, and yet also an innovator in terms of trying a lot of new technologies. And you're going to provide the backbone on which AR and VR and 5G are all going to run. So I'd be interested in your perspective on how you see your industry's challenges being met by AR.
Yeah, I think we have to get much better at providing innovative solutions that ride on top of our networks. And some of the challenges that we're dealing with is delivering reliable customer service to our end customers. A lot of products that we have to ingest and sell and install. Taking really complex solutions and making them what we call future friendly at Telus. That's our tagline, but that's easy to manage, easy to support, and very easy to use. And for us, those are some of the big challenges. And through AR, we're able to leverage the technology to better support our team members so that when they're out installing, and they have that support from the back end or instant on-the-fly training, on-the-job training tool. I haven't done this job for the last couple months. How do I do this? I have my phone, I point it at the device, and it walks me through step by step what to do. The opportunities in our industry, I would say, there's a huge demand for bandwidth, and solutions like augmented reality are bringing those forward for us, and we really want to make sure we support those going forward. And if we use them, we can sell them to our customers, to our end users, and that's where we want to move down the path.
Yeah. Fantastic. Dirk, do you want to talk about unique challenges in the temperature-controlled industry?
Yes, so challenges that we can tackle with AR and other challenges that we see which we cannot right now tackle. Let me start with these first. Challenges are, and as you mentioned, Palm, before, privacy. So if we are talking about customers like pharmaceutical customers, very often they are very afraid of letting us taking images. It's not so difficult to go in there and talk to people, but as soon as there is a camera involved, they are freaking out. So that is an issue then to bring AR into these companies, to be honest. So we are working on this, but that's a tedious process. The other challenge is, of course, as soon as you are transferring data across the Atlantic, it becomes also difficult. So for us, working even with our headquarters in Germany with AR is a challenge legally because, as you might know, the European Union doesn't consider the US to be a safe haven if it comes to data protection, and you have to involve a lot of lawyers and contracts to get this sorted out, just to make you aware of that up front. The other challenge that we are facing, which can be tackled with AR, I mentioned before the cannabis industry. So for us, that's a very rapidly growing industry, and the people working in this industry are not the scientists that we are used to work with. These are not the NASA rocket scientists. Very often they are coming from very different, very diverse backgrounds. I know a lot of companies extracting cannabis which have been started by lawyers because they know a lot about this, and they sometimes bring the convicts they defended before into their labs. It's very interesting. So these people are not used to working in a lab. So how you make it possible that they can use our products and get the result and the product they want to sell? Here, augmented reality is a huge help, as you can imagine, because it really democratizes the laboratory industry, as I would like to say, because you don't have to have a PhD to do these things if you can transmit this education via AR. That's fascinating for me.
I like that, democratizing the laboratory industry. I'm writing that down.
Please.
And Mo, I'm going to turn it to you for one quick thought on the customers in general that you're seeing and how AR is helping them. And it looks like we're over time, so.
Yeah, I'll just go really quickly. I think just to add on to what you guys are saying, some of the challenges. There are challenges out there in the industry, obviously, for everybody because it's so new. What we find is, I think Parm already mentioned a little bit about, is the hardware, right? So we have a mobile-first strategy. Everybody knows how to use their phone today, right? Everybody knows how to use a tablet if they have a tablet. When it comes to putting on a pair of smart glasses, sometimes it's a little bit like this. So if you've gone out there today, there's a few organizations here that have smart glasses. I would suggest try them on, have fun with it. But it is a change again in adoption of what you do. So we have a mobile-first strategy. We also do support all the smart glasses as well. But it's kind of a stepping stone to get to that point. I think is sometimes the challenges. But once you get up and running, I think it's a really good opportunity. For us, we believe that when it comes to AR, it's going to be in everybody's home, everybody's work. It's going to be in what you do pretty much in every day. If you look up Tim Cook from Apple, you'll kind of see his vision. He says that since the iPhone, this AR is going to be the next big thing, and Apple's coming out with their pair of their hardware coming out next year sometime as well. So you kind of see where they're going towards as a leading, obviously, industry leader as well. So there's opportunities there. Just a matter of understanding, on your side of it, if you're on enterprise, go through the process of seeing where you are and exploring. When you look at the maturity model, it really helps you answer a lot of questions that you should ask yourself and to answer before you actually get in and jump into it really quickly. I think it's a really, really important piece that you do that. Right?
Thank you, Mo, and thank you for the ad. I will underscore that once more. If you're interested in the maturity model, go to our website, atheerair.com, A-T-H-E-E-R air.com. I'd like to thank you. We have been delighted to be here today. And feel free to get in touch with us with any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.